I feel like I'm really just starting to understand life, um, and understand my life. Because I feel like from a young age, I already knew what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on with myself. Mm, mm, mm. So I understood the ways of the world and energies and all of that, but I couldn't understand how it was affecting me and how what I was actually going through and internalizing. But now I understand the way in which my life reflects back to me. And really, I just want to say, like, shout out to everybody who ever did me wrong. Like, shout out to you. No, seriously, shout out to you because, and I noticed this like presently, but I've also been just reflecting back on things. But every time something painful happens to me, it gets alchemized into something beautiful, whether it is peace within myself in a situation, whether it's a newfound level of understanding and wisdom, whether it's me unlocking more parts of myself. Like I was talking to a friend about how I don't really practice my instruments. Like I play the bass, I play the guitar, I play the piano. I'm sure I could play other things if I had the instruments because I really want a horn. I really want a horn. Think about a trumpet, but I was telling her how I really don't beat myself up about practicing, which I mean, I don't know. There's good things about that and there's bad things about that. But I noticed for myself that I see the most growth with my playing when I actually develop more as a person. And I think it's very interesting because I feel like my artistry, my creativity is simultaneously in growth with my personhood and my consciousness because I didn't grow up playing instruments. So all of the music I make and all of the things I play are no more than 3 years old, if that. 2025. I got the bass and I want to say like 2022. So none of the level of skill I've been able to acquire comes from these long hours and years of training, which is very backwards, especially to something like an instrument where, teachers and other musicians will tell you you have to practice, you have to practice, you have to practice, you have to practice, you have to practice. And I do want to preface this by saying I did overly practice in the beginning, but excuse me, I did overly practice in the beginning, but the real work came from the spirit. I can't, like, it's so hard for me to put it in words because it sounds like a bunch of hoopla, but it's really the truth. Like, okay, you know, the string theory in multiple dimensions, multiple realities, multiple universes, specifically in the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. The main character, once she became aware of her multiple personality, I said multiple personalities, girl, that too. But once she became aware of the multiple realities she lived in, she was able to jump into certain timelines and pull different skills from different realities, even if she didn't live in that reality. basically that's what I'm doing. It sounds crazy as I sit here and explain it, but that is genuinely what I'm doing because I'm not practicing and I'm getting better. So, riddle me that. How does that work, But I'm also aware that I have lived many lifetimes and I know I have acquired all skills because you have to live many lifetimes to even become aware of the fact that you've lived many lifetimes. Like, do you know how many lifetimes you actually have to go through to start remembering the past ones? I'm not saying I'm the oldest bitch on this world. I'm not saying I'm the only person lived all of these fucking lives, but I remember them and I know I can tap into them at will. And I even know that, like, me choosing a musical artistic path is because that's just the path. That's one of um the things that have repeated in so many of my lives, and it's also why I can just not practice. So maybe this advice don't go for everybody. I'm not saying it. I'm just speaking on myself. But like I tell this story a lot because I think it's beautiful and ironic. But I used to have dreams about playing the guitar. Like when I was a little bitty girl, I just would have these dreams of playing the guitar, playing these beautiful songs. And when I was like 10 or from 10 to 12, I begged for a guitar. I begged. All I wanted was a guitar for Christmas. And I got an electric guitar, a red electric guitar, and I was extremely, extremely excited. But shortly after the excitement wore off, I realized I cannot play this. I don't know how to play this. But because I had all these dreams of me playing the guitar, I genuinely believed that when I genuinely believed that when I got this instrument in my hand, it would play itself. And when it didn't play itself, I got extremely discouraged and I just eventually dropped it. Fast forward to like 2022, I get a bass because I feel like it's less intimidating than a guitar. And fast forward to 2025, I asked for a acoustic guitar for my birthday. And I was playing it one day and I realized, like, how long am I going to act like I don't know what to do? A person like me, I pretend like I don't know the answers when I really know the answer. And I pretend like I don't know what to do or where to go when I really know what to do and where to go, So I was playing the guitar and I was like, how long am I going to act like I don't know that this is what I'm supposed to do? And even now to this day, I still have beautiful dreams of me playing the guitar. Beautiful. And like, when I say beautiful dreams, it reminds me of Sailor Moon. And Sailor Moon, like the later seasons with Chibi Usa, there's this what is it called? It's a horse, but it's not a unicorn. I don't know, but it's just this like mystical horse that is hiding in her dreams, and the horse can only go to people who has beautiful dreams. If you don't have beautiful dreams, the horse can't find solitude in your dreams. But sometimes the horse comes and visits her in her dreams and talks to her, and the horse also gives her the horse's mystical powers. The horse is like a guardian of the fucking galaxy or something. So it has these ancient, very, very strong powers, which is why it hides in people's beautiful dreams, because it's hiding from evil. I keep getting these fucking calls and they get on my nerves. But it's a very powerful creature, and it hides in beautiful dreams, and it lends Chibi Usa its power when she's in trouble. But I say all that to say I have these beautiful dreams where, like, it feels like heaven. It literally feels like I'm in heaven, and the colors are vibrant, and I'm surrounded by people I love, and I'm playing. Sometimes it's me playing. Sometimes it's the people I love playing. But sometimes it's me playing, and I'll be playing, and I'll be playing this beautiful song on a guitar, and it's like, how many times do I need to see this beautiful dream and feel this amazing peace before I accept the reality of the situation? Now, to take it all the way back to the beginning, I do not practice as much. I play when I feel called to. I play when I want. It's very like intuitive. Like, they say intuitive eating. Like, oh, I don't track my macros and shit. I just eat intuitively. I play intuitively. I don't have a set schedule. And the more I try to do that rigid shit, the more it didn't work. Also, the more I try to, in my early stages, the more I try to learn other people's music, the longer of a delay I had in my progress. And for some reason, I have a really hard time memorizing other people's music. Like, I could spend months learning the song, and as soon as I stop playing the song, I can remember it. It's not that I have a hard time learning it, but I have a very hard time retaining it. So it really doesn't matter how much time I spend learning the song. As soon as I drop it and move on, I'll forget it. Like, I'll just forget how to play it. And but I don't have that problem with my music. The music I create intuitively, I can remember. Like, I was just playing a song I made a year ago, and just like that, I remembered it instantly. I never forgot it. And I also think that's by design, because what really taught me how to play instruments is playing in the ways that felt natural to myself. Every time I tried to play like somebody else, I would get nowhere. When I tried to hold the guitar a certain way, when I tried to practice the piano a certain way, I would get absolutely nowhere, literally nowhere. And as soon as I allowed myself to play in a way that felt fun and free and natural and playful to me, I started to see real progress. But similarly to to the point of me not practicing, I'll tell you about this dream I had recently. I was in the classroom and I had a dream, and Prince Purple Rain, Prince was the teacher, but he was in the form of a woman, but it was the energy of Prince. It literally looked just like Prince. Like, I guess because I'm a woman, maybe that made me, I feel like he showed up that way for me because that made me comfortable, but it was literally a female Prince. Like, it was it was a female Prince, and that was the teacher. And someone had came in today to show the class something, and the person who came in to show the class something was Jimi Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix was in the front of the class, and he was playing a bass. Now, I have a show in October. Well, it's October now, but I have a show at October 25th, and I have to play the bass. And originally, the set list, I was going to have to play 2 Jimi Hendrix songs, but it got switched. But this is before it got switched. So in the dream, Jimi Hendrix is in the front of the class playing a bass that looks like my bass. I have a black bass. He was on a black bass playing it, and he was literally looking at me, like, out the corner of his eye. Like, if he's sitting there like this, he was like, and he was literally showing me how to play. And it's crazy because this is real alchemy. Like, not the shit that people talk about online, not the manifest and the affirmations. And the affirmations don't really work for me, because the truth is, like, low-key, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. It don't matter if you say that shit 100 times. But all of that, like, fluff shit that people say, like, will help, that stuff only works once you've done real work to, like, really embody the shit you're trying to, like, then that will work. But it's kind of like giving a kid a bunch of tools to put together a fucking car. It's like, yeah, like, a car will get put together, but that kid can't put the car together. Like, of course, like, yes, this is all the tools to put a car together, but that person can't put the car together. That's kind of what you're doing. What I'm talking about is real is real deep spiritual work. And when I woke up from that dream with Jimi Hendrix, I couldn't help but, like, I literally felt like I gotta play the guitar. And that's like those feelings of like, I have to do this. That's when I really tend to see the most growth. So I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I got to play. So I went outside and I played, and I literally was playing exactly how he showed me. And as I was playing, I just felt him smiling. I felt him smiling. I was smiling, but I felt him smiling because I got the lesson. Dreams are very symbolic, and if you cannot remember or interpret any of your dreams, you should really like get on that, because a lot of the answers that I personally look for, I find them in my dreams. So I said all that to say, things don't have to look good for other people. That's something I'm starting to notice, because had I been worried about other people telling me, because I mean, people have told me this, for what, I don't know. People just love to give their opinions on shit. It's weird. But people have told me, oh, you need to practice, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go here, you need to buy this, you need to order this, you need to go to this school, you need a teacher, you need this. I don't need shit. And people don't like when you say that, but I don't need your advice. I don't need your school. I don't need your opinion. I don't need it. Like, and nobody needs someone else's opinion. All answers come from within. But the real test and the real testimony is being comfortable enough and believing in yourself enough and having enough faith to believe that what feels right to you and what looks right to you is enough. This past year, 2024 and 2025, has shown me like nobody knows what they're talking about, and nobody has the answers, and nobody knows what they're doing. And I don't have to bend myself to someone else's reality. I bend reality. If I'm bending myself to fit into a reality, that means I bend reality. So why not bend it to my liking? Like, but I do a lot of things in unconventional ways, but it works for me, because real alchemy does not make sense. Real alchemy is personal. It is a personal journey. It's literally the road to self-discovery. How the fuck are you going to discover yourself listening to somebody else? Whether that's a teacher, whether it's a pastor, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a friend, whether it's family, whether it's a partner, whether it's whoever the fuck, how are you going to find yourself while listening to someone else? How, Sway? How? You don't have the answer, Sway. Like, what are we talking about here? So, to wrap it up, I see tremendous jumps in my skill level when consciously I am growing, when my awareness is growing, when my nervous system is being regulated and I'm paying attention to it, when I notice flaws in myself and I notice disruptive patterns, when I go through traumatic shit. Again, shout out to all the people that do me wrong and play with me, because every time they fuck with me, I get stronger. I'm not making this shit up. Keep the hate coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Because hate is just misplaced love. Every time somebody does me wrong, even if it's somebody close to me, and even if I feel like it's the end of the world and I'm shattered and my heart is broken and I feel like I'm in the pits of hell, I always come out on the other side better and stronger and sharper and more attuned and wiser. And you know, it's crazy because the old me was so stuck on being a victim that I wouldn't even allow myself to recognize the transformation happening in my face, because I was so stuck on what they did to me. Fuck what they did to me. Look at me now. Fuck what they said about me. Look at me now. Like, you know, and it's crazy because people will try to hurt you, not just because they don't like you and they want to tear you down, but most of the time it's just a reflection of how they feel about themselves on the inside. And sometimes you're in the crossfires. Sometimes people are going out of their way to hurt you, and it's not about them, but deep down it's still about them. But I'm telling you, bro, every time a nigga play with me, it turn me up. Every time a bitch play with me, it turns me up. It turns me up. Every time a hoe say something funny to me, it turned me up. Every time somebody act weird, it turned me up. Every time somebody try to disrespect me and diminish me, it turns me up. It's like they don't understand they're lighting my fire. Every time they do some weird shit to me, they just throwing another match in my fire. So thank you for hating me. Thank you for being weird. Thank you for being shady. Thank you for bringing me down and making me feel bad about myself and about life. Thank you. I am thankful because there's so much beauty on the other side of it. But the secret is that you have to feel it. That's the secret. As someone who went mute and numb for most of their life after a certain period because of how people would react to the truth. When I spoke the truth, I would always get negative reactions. I'm talking about as a child. When I would say, this is what happened and this is how I felt about it, I would get, shut the fuck up. You're sensitive, you're tripping, you're doing too much, it's not that serious, it's not that deep. That's what I was met with. So in turn, I decided to shut down, because why express myself if I'm getting met with opposition, right? That was the logical path for me as a kid. But what I realized is that the real alchemy, the real transition, and the real wisdom gets gained from you feeling the pain as deeply as you felt it. You have to feel it. If you don't feel it, it will fester and it will rot inside of you, and it will bother you until the day you die, and it'll corrupt your soul. It'll erode you from the inside. The secret, I'm telling you the secret. You have to feel it. If you feel like somebody hurt you deeply, feel the pain, cry, feel miserable, feel less than worthy, feel minuscule, feel like you're dying. Feel it as hard as you can. And the more you feel it, the more you can release it. And the more you can release it, the more you can transmute it into whatever you want it to become. But if you do not feel the feeling, if you do not feel the pain, if you do not feel the anger, if you don't feel the betrayal, if you don't feel the rage inside of you, you cannot move away from it. You can't alchemize it. You can't transition. You can't let it go. And all of my serious growth has come from me feeling my pain, accepting my pain, forgiving my pain, and then letting it go. Y'all try to skip all that and just let it go and move on. No. You have to sit in your hurt and still choose to love afterwards. That's the secret. That's how I can play these instruments with no teacher and no lessons and and no practice, you know, because I am transmuting pain into what I personally, the path I've decided to take is one of music. So I've decided to transmute my pain into music and other forms of art as well, because arguably I'm transmuting my pain now, you know. But that is how I'm able to grow in a way that seems unnatural. That is how I'm able to do it, because I'm growing from the inside, and I'm all the look, I'm just gonna keep saying the shit, all the answers are from within. The more you go within, the more you'll express outwardly. But I'm gonna wrap it up, because I'm just gonna start repeating myself. I can't say the shit no simpler. So, you know,